This is a slam dunk, no brainer, absolutely A+. I don't care about your galaxy brain take about like, whoa, I don't know, like maybe they shouldn't give this goalie. Shut up. Everyone shut up. We have a stud player we have locked up through his prime. It's awesome. Huge signing. The huge signing.
Let's get to this. 7 years, 7.75 AAV. Do you like the term? Do you like the dollar? Do you like it all? Where you at?
I fucking love I love it. I love every last injected into my veins, as the kids say these days, right?
And you mentioned something 1 or 2 episodes ago where you basically call out that Dustin Wolf is the face of this franchise.
Dude.
And after seeing him in his interview at the golf tournament after the signing, you're starting to really see that take fruition, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the face of the franchise. He's the player you're building around. I mean, we like to talk about leadership a lot on the show because everybody always talks about it. To me, this is the kind of leadership I'm looking for from a player on the team that I cheer for. And, it's always interesting, the guys who kind of have a certain mindset and are talking about things like winning and those building a championship team early on in their career. It's part of the reason we love Matthew Tkachuk so much because, from the moment he got here, that's what he's talking about, like championship. It's all about the team. It's about the championship. It's about winning in Calgary one day. And these are the same things you hear from Wolf. And I think that is, maybe the most underrated or maybe under talked about aspect of his extension that I'm most pumped about. Is because, there's always risk when you're signing a goaltender, the whole goalies are voodoo thing. That's totally valid. I understand. But when you take everything into account, this kid's pedigree, what this kid did at the NHL level, but I think most importantly, this kid's mindset, this kid's how this kid approaches the game, how this kid thinks about the game, what kind of the amount of mental toughness and focus this kid has, because we talked about it, like we said, a little bit last week. And this is obviously, he knows that a contract extension is coming. They've been talking about it. He knows he's about to get this huge payday, this huge investment from the team. And what's he talking about in the media? I haven't proven shit. We have so much more. I have so much more to give for this team. Last year, we didn't make the playoffs. It wasn't good enough. Those are the kind of things he's talking about. So when you have that kind of player, not only is the face of the franchise, he's the leader on the ice. He's the leader of the entire franchise. So absolute hell yeah to Dustin. And again, you have to remember where we've been for the past 3 years, where all of our players have just dipped. And to have a commitment from this guy with this mindset, with this commitment to the team, this is huge. This is the biggest day in Flames franchise history since they locked up Gaudreau back in the day. I don't know. So it's awesome.
Well, it was becoming a bit of a, whether it was true or not, it was definitely becoming a talking point about Calgary where nobody wanted to stay here. I think one of the things that Connie wanted to flip the script on day one was reversing that belief. I know True Living touched on it, but he doesn't really do anything well in terms of, speaking to the fan base about stuff. But you're really starting to see that. I mean, it's one thing when you hear, a GM say stuff and then it just kind of gets lost in the weeds and whatnot. But when you hear all the leadership group saying the same things the GM says, how many times have Weir mentioned in his post-season comments about Calgary being a destination now where players want to come? We got the new rink coming. People want to be here. Coronado, I think, said something similar. Dustin Wolf says something similar after his signing. Yeah, Calgary's, we're starting to show here that we're building for the future, and we got some good things on the horizon. I'm starting to believe it. You hear, what's that saying? You tell yourself a lie enough times, you start to believe it's true. I've heard it from this management team and now the players enough times where I'm starting to believe, yeah.
It's the
maybe people do want to come to Calgary, Michael.
It's the old George Costanza trick. It's not a lie if you believe it. Craig's just employing the old George Costanza trick on all these guys. But I mean, it is different when it's the younger players. And I think this just maybe speaks more to, because I think even last week, the fact that it had been quiet on the Dustin Wolf front, I wasn't worried, but I was kind of thinking like, hey, does he want to set himself up? Like I was thinking maybe Wolf himself wants to go another season and really cash in and do something similar to Kachuk did, where he sets himself up to have total control over everything, and I was in the back of my mind for a minute there. I was like, oh man, is this going to happen with this guy? Because like we said, the pedigree, the mindset, like this is an elite hockey player, an elite mind, and an elite athlete. Is this guy going to set himself up? And, I think it more speaks to Craig's understanding of, this is a guy we need here long-term, and we need to commit to Calgary. And as soon as he's ready to commit to Calgary, we have to make sure he's here long-term. Unlike, maybe the previous general manager who fumbled with that a little bit, right? It's like you have a superstar saying, I want to play my entire career here. It's like, could you do us a favor? Could we just bridge you? 3 years sounds good, right? 3 years works for you, right? Just be a team player.
Imagine the GM trying to convince the player. Yeah. Come on, take a bridge deal, would you?
You got to keep pro league.
We got to keep the roster together.
So when it's when you've got what you've got from Dustin Wolf and the team is ready to commit to him instantly, I think because it really is. It is such a huge sign of faith, because I think people forget. I don't forget things. Remember where a lot of people were at heading into this season.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. He's too small. Like these fucking conversations about him being too small and he's going to work in the NHL. It's like that was continuing into the season to start the season. With a lot of people.
Listen to our preseason episodes. Yeah. We did one specifically on Dustin Wolf, and straight up, we were like, no. He's going to have a fucking killer season.
He's going to be unreal. So the fact that, maybe if you're on the outside, you're looking at this and be like, wow, the Flames are already willing to commit that term and that dollar to him. When if you're on the inside, you're like, yeah, absolutely they are, because look at what he did this year. And again, like we've said hundreds of times, this is why we had no concerns about Dustin Wolf heading into this season and probably wanted to see him even sooner, is the pedigree. And, this isn't just 1 year flash in the pan. He had a really good rookie season. Let's cross our fingers and hope he's worth the $50 million we're going to give him. This is, since he's been in the organization, he's proven himself, not only proven himself, but taken a huge step and been elite at every single level. Two-time goaltender of the year in the WHL. Set all kinds of records there. Two-time goalie of the year in the AHL. I think he's the only goalie to win in back-to-back seasons. AHL MVP, comes up to Calgary, comes up first season in the NHL, puts up all kinds of crazy numbers. He's breaking goaltending records for the team left, right, and center every single night, and finishes runner-up in the Calder, voting only second to an absolutely historic season from Lane Hudson. So this isn't just, and I know Craig touched on this too when they were asking like what made you ready to commit to Wolf so soon. It's like, well, it really isn't so soon. It's been a long time coming. It's been 4 or 5 years of this kid in the organization being elite at every single level. So this is a slam dunk, no brainer, absolutely A+. I don't care about your galaxy brain take about like, whoa, I don't know, like maybe they shouldn't give this goalie. Shut up. Everyone shut up. We have a stud player we have locked up through his prime. It's awesome.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is barn burner, every face-off, hat-trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment is never ordinary at Bet365. An official partner of the NHL, download the Bet365 app today and use the code NATION to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. I mean, you got the Coronado extension done, then the Zari extension, and now the Wolf extension. This is turning out to be a pretty good summer from
the summer of Craig.
Conroy. It's late. What's the late Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare? It's basically that's what Connie's doing. It's late in the summer, but it's turning out to be, looking back at it, it's a pretty good summer by Craig.
He got the Ball deal done as well, which I know maybe that's not a lot of people's favorite deal, but he got a lot of work done. And again, like I said, I was kind of starting to think, yeah, maybe this Wolf thing, maybe he's setting himself up for a bigger payday. And I think this is, the fact he got him done $7.5 million with where the cap is headed. super imperative because
because
again,
players are soon going to be expecting more money. It hasn't really passed that threshold yet.
Yeah.
I know it's probably in contract negotiations. You talk about it a lot. The cap's going up. The cap's going up. It hasn't really had an impact on contracts yet, but it's going to become a big thing here.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking, even if you are concerned about like the paying a goalie thing, because you know what, I do think that is kind of a valid point. But I mean, how risky is it when, like we said, this kid has proven himself to be an elite goaltender at every single level? There's really not that much risk involved.
Well, it comes back. This is such an interesting point you bring up. Like when we had Kent Wilson on talking about, you know, where the Flames are at currently and maybe what he would do instead of, you know, this whole pushing this retool process. You get Bader on with the state of the organization where we're headed. There's such a caveat when one of your studs, your all-stars, is in the goaltending position. It's different. If you had a 1C that's a stud and you just locked him up to this long-term extension, it seems to be that because it's in the position of the crease, it just creates it. People don't look at it the same way. Yeah. But we have an absolute fucking stud in Dustin Wolf. We got another one coming up in Perek. We'll see what these other guys do. But man, like I said, like this team is starting to take shape. You can start to see what this team is going to look like in the next 3-4 years. We got such a nice prospect pool coming up. The development is going to be huge in the next few seasons.
Yeah, like Jay Fresh posted a little like inflationary equivalent for Wolf's salary, and that's why I'm so pumped that Connie got it done, because like I said, I was kind of getting worried, and I thought the number was going to be higher. I really did, because they buy 5 UFA years. And like you said, players are starting to wait and say, hey, like the cap's going to be way higher in a few years. Like I deserve this. So I'll post this in the show. 7 by $7.5 million extension, inflation equivalent under the current cap. By like 4 years into this thing, this is going to be looking like a $5.6 million AAV relative to the cap, percentage of the cap. That's incredible. You know, even if you don't believe goaltending is a position you should spend a lot of money, you're not spending a lot of money there. You're not. So it's totally awesome. It's totally great. And like I said, I think above all is his mindset. You know, is how he thinks about the game, is the kind of person he is.
Yeah. One thing you didn't mention was, remember in the playoff race last year, there was like 3-4 weeks left in the season, and Dustin Wolf comes in the media, is like, we're going to get in.
He said, we're making it.
A rookie goaltender. I mean, he's a beast, and I think because he plays goaltender, he's not looked at the same way as you know, from even a leadership standpoint, or even just how much impact he has on this team. But I mean, we said it 1,000 times. The only reason the Flames had the modicum of success they did last year was because of Dustin Wolf, single-handedly.
Well, he carried them to the first half of the season before they kind of got it together there.
You had his mom's quote on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Do you have that in front of you?
This is a baller quote. So again, Brendan Parker, Flames TV, they did a great interview with Wolfie. Just like I said, I think they obviously had this in the hopper because they released this like the morning of the golf tournament. Well, you know, everybody remembers that draft day, right? Everybody remembers him sitting there till the bitter end. He was there and nobody picks him, and the Flames picked him, and it was like unbelievable, because he should have gone way earlier. And, you know, he expected to go earlier. The season he should have gone earlier. If he was above 6 feet, if he was 6'4", he would have gone way earlier. So the Flames pick him. This is back in 2019. Dustin Wolf's mom, I believe this was the Flames media, said somebody had to take a chance on a goalie that's not 6'4", and he's going to beat everybody that's out there. I promise you.
Amazing.
Dude, Mama Wolf, come on.
Amazing.
That's awesome. And again, another great quote from Wolf. There's quotes about, dude, I love this kid. Yesterday with Parker, again, they were just going over the draft.
It's true. Like, for such, like, you look at him, he's a kid.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this guy grow up, man, in the Flames uniform. It's gonna be fun to watch. But even as a kid, you know, small in stature, but man, he's he's got aura for sure.
Dude, it's the Tyrion Lannister. This is what I love about Dustin Wolf. Like you said, aura. He's got that chip on his shoulder. But it's that he's got Tyrion Lannister vibe where it's like, take your weakness,
right?
Yeah, take your weakness and turn it into your strength, right? It's like the world won't forget who you are. The world will never forget who you are. They won't stop telling you what they think you are. So instead of, feeling defeated and feeling shitty about yourself, wear it as armor and turn it into your strength. And that's what he's done. And that's what a lot of small players have done. And he's not even that small, which is the other crazy thing. But again, another absolutely aura quote. Like he's been aura farming all week. Every media availability, it's just like dripping with fucking aura, dude. But Parker was just talking about him draft day, and he was saying, yeah, the talk in my career has always been size, too small. And he said, who cares anymore? Yeah, who cares anymore? Call me small, call me whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I'm one of the best goalies in the league.
It's interesting because a lot of times you see, I don't know what the actual stat is, but sometimes when players get these big contracts, they have a tendency to maybe dip a bit or get complacent a bit, and production might go down a bit, performance might drop off a bit, and you kind of go in and out between the seasons. I feel like it's going to do nothing but solidify the belief in himself that he's had to fucking carry into the trenches. I mean, imagine being told your whole life you'll never make it. You're too small. You're not. You're a good goaltender, but you're not. He's had to deal with that his whole life, and now he just signs a $54 million fucking contract. Yeah. I think it's gonna do nothing but absolutely solidify his confidence. I think he's gonna have a monster season.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what this kid. I can't wait to see what this kid is gonna do, man. Like, and again, there's gonna be ups because there's gonna be ups and downs for sure. But something I'm sick of hearing. I just gotta go on a quick little rant. Is like, everybody's looking at the Flames this year and being like, well, Dustin, they're gonna be worse. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe the 96 points is going to be hard to equal, but mostly because of Dustin Wolf regression. How about Dustin Wolf ascension season? How about he's going to be better? How about fuck you? How about that? How about watch him be better?
Yeah. If you be like Google, predict what he's going to do based on what he's done in the past. Just gets better every fucking year.
Every single year. And again, like in his interview when he's talking with Parks, he's just saying, how much he believes in what Connor's trying to build here and how much he wants to push for the playoffs this season and how much he wants to win a championship here. So it's totally awesome.
Connie's done an exceptional job of, what would you call it? Befriending these young kids. They all look up to him. They all respect him. They got mad respect. Connie's obviously sold all these young kids on what's happening here in Calgary. You see it in Coronado committing to Calgary long term. Now Wolf. I know we've debated it. We've talked about it because it is a debate in terms of creating this culture, but I don't think anybody can deny the fact that there's a serious culture happening here in Calgary. And soft rebuild. What do we like? Whatever it is, it seems to be completely in the works, and you're seeing the fruition of this with some of these offseason deals.
Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.